Streaming commenced. Hi, everybody. What's going on with everybody today on this fine evening
Aptitude.
of hotitude? It is quite not cool
It's
outside.
quite
It's
like we're on the sun.
it's going to be quite not cool tomorrow as well. Worse so than today, actually.
Well, you said 102.
There's a heat warning out for our area tomorrow. The heat index is supposed to reach up to 102, which is, I believe, the high is expected to be about 94, plus sun, plus humidity. They said it will feel like 102. So, basically, the warning is stay in the air conditioning, and if you don't have air conditioning, find a place that does. So,
But wait, nothing's open and pools are closed.
we gotta find a relative that has a. Yeah, you gotta find
You're
a
not
relative.
allowed to go see relatives anyway.
I believe you are allowed to see relatives. Bigger groups that you're not allowed to get into.
Hence why this virus really sucks.
It does. The virus does really suck. Well, while we're waiting for some people, let's make fun of the one thing that we can make fun of because it's new. The one new thing on here is this one right here. So let's see what we got.
We have a mask, which is, they're asking for 70.
And
Then there's a rotor,
die rotor.
which is 90.
Is
Then
that a min- is that
it's
an
an
axe?
Axe 2.0, which is 380. And then a Ninja Super Light 68 4500, which is 190. And then a harness and pods, which I don't believe
And the
there's a
date on there is July of 16. So 1 year from now is when it would need hydrated. So, and there's a.
So
They're all color coordinated, which is nice. Is this
they're all red.
Is this red or orange?
I think that's red.
I think it's red, but it looks orange in
it
the
looks
picture.
orange, but I think it's all red.
I think for all of this together, $750 is a pretty good price, actually. It's not a great price.
That's my tank, right? That's the tank that I have? Yeah, it's exactly. No, it's bigger.
This is the 68, so that's the size of mine.
Okay, but it's. Okay, so it's bigger than mine, but it looks exactly the same.
It does look, yes, it does
It's
look the same,
It's
but
the
it
same,
is
but
bigger.
a different size. Then. Yeah, I don't think it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's probably a little bit more than I would be. I would negotiate it down a little bit, but it's
Cause
not
what?
outrageous.
500.
I would want to see the back of this mask and see how like the foam and everything's holding up. Because the problem with the Vio, I love the Vio. I think it's a great mask. I used it for years, but
The foam, yeah,
foam
was
is
your
not
big-
replaceable. You have to glue it on there. So I'd want to look at that.
And he says he's only used all of this stuff twice.
He didn't clean it very well for having
No,
used it
he
twice.
didn't clean it well. That's kind of like, look at that. That's disgusting.
And that's an LTR, so that's actually not worth that. Like they sell for $90, I think. So the fact that he's selling it for $90 when it's brand new for $90, that's a bit much.
But it might have not been 90 at the time.
No, it released about that price.
Did it?
Yeah, it released so.
What are ours? The ones
Uh,
that we have, what are ours?
the rotors.
So what? Because ours were about 148
Yeah,
when we bought them.
and they're just a regular rotor. They're not an LTR. There's not much difference between the LTR and the regular rotor.
So the LTR is a lower grade of what we have.
Yes, technically
Okay.
it's a loader grade. It's
'Cause
and it's
ours
quite a
were-
bit cheaper. But as far as the actual difference of them, if I had to go buy a new one now, I would without question get the LTR because it's basically the same thing without the cosmetics on it. Shoots the same rate, jams the same or at least the same jam likelihood. It's got the same internals. It's got the same.
Well, was the rotor when we got ours in what 2014, 2015? Weren't ours brandy new? That was the best hopper, the best
They were
electronic
not brand new.
hopper
They
you could buy. I thought that
They,
was.
I mean, it. No.
No?
Yes
Okay.
and no. Not,
Yes and
not no. In just like straight up no, but there's long been a competition between the rotor and the spire.
Okay.
and different people like the other, one better than the
Yeah.
other. So arguably it's the best and was when we bought it, but not definitively.
Because I don't remember the Spires being a thing when we bought
They
our
were.
rotors.
They just went. Who we bought through, P. Danny. He really, really, really liked the rotor, which is I really like the rotor. I do see advantages of the Spire. I've never.
And the Spire
I have not.
Virtue
I've only used
or
one.
Bunker?
What?
Is the Spire Virtue?
It's Virtue. Yeah. I've only used it once during gameplay. I've obviously never owned one because my rotor is so robust. I've never had to get a new one, but I've heard very good things. And the one time I did use it, it worked just fine. They're pretty comparable. The difference would be, it seems to me like the rotor is a little tougher, like as far as what you can do to it and it'll survive. I believe it also shoots a little faster, but the Spire, the internals are less likely to jam and they're just plain simpler. So I think it might be. I think the Spire is a little lighter and the die is a little smaller. So
I remember purchasing all those rotors, purchasing the 3 rotors that we had, including John's, and then because I'm adorable, I got the free speed-fed toppers, and trying to put those on by myself, I was like, I'm gonna bust something. But speaking of the rotors being,
you need a new lid for yours.
I need to know that.
We have actually your original lid that we can put on.
Okay, I'm not saying to go buy a lid. I'm saying.
I know. I'm saying we need to do
we
that.
need to
We
put
have
a
your
new,
original lid on
we
there.
need to put a new lid.
That we can put on there. I've got it in the closet back there.
There you go.
So I see that Eric has joined us.
Hi, Eric.
I think he's the only one. As of right now, yes, he is the only one, and you are correct, sir.
He usually is the only one when it's this early up game.
That's true. I did get personal confirmation from Jake that he was going to be joining us tonight. So we'll
Okay.
see if that happens. But you are correct, sir, and we'll go over that maybe when some more people join. We'll actually talk about what you commented there. But we only had one thing to make fun of on Craigslist today, and it wasn't even making fun of it, really. It was just
No,
investigating it.
unfortunately. He's not a Looney Tune. Ask, trying to sell paint and
Right.
and CO2 tanks.
Yeah, it's a bit much, but not anywhere near outrageous.
And he says he only used it twice. So, it's probably good. Probably good.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's good. Depending on how long ago he used it, and then if he cleaned it or not. Because if he used it a year ago and then just let it sit there without cleaning it, that could be a problem. But I'd have to look at it first. But it looks pretty good. But let's. I guess let's first, while we're waiting still for people, talk about where we're not right now.
Yeah, where we're not.
Because last week, I fought it. Last week, we told everybody that we'd be coming to you from a different location, but here we are in our usual location. What's up with that, you wonder? Well, we were going to go camping. All Dunedain were ADOG required, but it turned out that no one was going to come, except
I
maybe...
see how much power I have.
Except maybe Eric, but that was canceled as of this afternoon around 2:30, because it turns out that last weekend they had the 4th of July party up there, and one particular family member who does not believe that the virus even exists, this morning had a fever of 101.4. So he had close proximity with other family that will still be there, and so we just deemed it not prudent to go up there. So camping is canceled, at least as of right now. Being as he does not believe the virus even exists, he's probably not going to get tested. If he did get tested and cleared, then we would go up, maybe for a few days, but...
I hope Grandmama brings out the wooden spoon with the hole. That's what I hope.
Bring out her Grambo spoon.
Yes, that's what I hope. I hope she brings out the Grambo spoon and runs around the kitchen with it, waving it real hard. Because that feisty 4'11" woman will mess you up with her wooden spoon with a hole.
Well, she doesn't use the one with holes anymore. She has a Grambo spoon.
Oh yeah, but the one with the hole hurts worse. Bring it out, Grandmama. Bring it out.
It potentially hurts worse. I don't know. I was never actually officially
I have
hit
never
with the
been
Grambo
hit.
spoon.
I've never been hit with a wooden spoon or chased around with a wooden spoon. I was a
I was
good
hit
child.
with the big one with the holes, but I was never hit with the Grambo spoon because by the time she got that one, you know,
She
the
was big grandma, wasn't she?
Yeah, the grandkids were all grown up by then.
She would still whack you with a wooden spoon right now.
Speaking of virus, here's some breaking news for the Pittsburgh area. Allegheny County Health Department issues new 2-week order. No indoor dining, no alcohol consumption inside bars or restaurants, no events or gatherings of more than 25 indoors and 50 outdoors. Smoking not allowed inside casinos.
Why would casinos even be open?
That's kind of my question, or why are casinos open? That seems like a terrible idea. We drove past Laser Storm today, and I was like, and it says open, book now, and I was like, that's a terrible idea.
But we also went to. When did we go to Handles? Sunday?
I think so, yeah.
We went to Handles, and Handles.
Not open.
No, it wasn't Sunday. It was Saturday.
Either way, not open.
Not open. Brewster's was open on Sunday though. All I wanted
Was some ice cream?
was some ice cream. And now I can't get ice cream. This virus has ruined 2020. It has ruined my birthday. It has ruined the Ion experience. It has killed numerous people, which is way more than both of those things combined. It is the worst. And I just don't understand why people still don't think it exists and why people are not taking care of their loved ones. It disgusts me. I'm disgusted and very grumpy today.
Yep.
I was gonna conquer the pond.
People would just wear their masks.
Loki is very upset because he was gonna conquer the pond.
If people would just wear their
Shut
masks,
down.
it wouldn't be a problem anymore. The statistics show if everyone just wore a mask, the rate would drop 80%. So, yeah, everyone just, wear your mask. This is not that hard. I don't understand what the problem is. But anyway, camping canceled, so we're here at home. We'll probably have, there's like a bonfire in the backyard or something and act like we're camping. Although if it's going to be 102
We could set
tomorrow,
up a tent and go chill out in the backyard.
we could, but that'd be
Speaking
silly.
of that, people who have, high school seniors, college seniors who
Yeah, Eric,
don't get to graduate.
Is your
That's
graduation
awful.
party still on?
I'm being selfish, but I was being a selfish, privileged bitch, and I'm so sorry about that. Other things have been ruined that are more important than the two things that I said.
Yep. Statistic I heard today, which I kind of knew it, but just hearing it said in that order struck me. So far from the virus in the United States, speaking just in the United States, more people have died from it than Vietnam. More people have died from it than Korea, and more people have died from it than World War One. Specifically Americans.
Ooh.
And also more people have died from the virus than Americans in all three of those wars combined.
So let's talk about that, because when we first went on lockdown back in March, there was not necessarily a meme, but a post/meme that said, "Our grandfathers went to war. We're asked to sit on a couch and watch Netflix." So now we've lost more than those wars, when all we really have to do is sit on a couch. And I know that that's difficult for some people, based on your mental health. And I'm compassionate towards those people, but we're condoned to sitting on a couch watching Netflix. We're not going out in ridiculous weather conditions and getting killed so that we're able to sit on a couch and watch Netflix. Like, it just blows my mind. It really does. It blows my mind.
Yeah, and then just, the economic side of it is a big deal. I had a conversation with somebody that I firmly disagree with on most things. That made a lot of sense when it came to, you have a family to feed. You gotta work and make money, and I completely agree with all that. Which is why I just say, wear a mask. If everyone had just been wearing a mask from the moment they said wear a mask, we would be so much healthier right now. But enough of that nonsense. We could go on like that for a long, long time. And I think enough people have talked about the virus enough, and we're no experts, so let's move on. Eric says his graduation party is still on, and Caribbean food will be available. That's exciting.
Are you gonna have tostones?
Whose testicles? What?
Tostones. I guess that's really Puerto Rican, maybe, but it's.
Well, Puerto Rico's in
It's
the Caribbean.
I need some jerk chicken, some plantains.
Who's a jerk?
Oh, you're not allowed to talk anymore about food.
I like food. Well, that's exciting. I look forward to Caribbean food, I think.
You like jerk chicken.
Apparently, I like jerks and chickens.
It's a seasoning. You like Caribbean spices on your chicken.
See, I keep her around to be my brain and tell me things. She is my personal cloud, right? So, like, people have, whether it be the iCloud or the Google Cloud or whatever, I have the A cloud. I have the A cloud.
And why am I the A cloud?
You keep all my knowledge for
I
me.
keep all of
So,
your knowledge.
like, I don't just need to know things. You know it for me.
Excellent.
Okay, well, there will be both jerks and chickens. I knew that because you invited, I believe, the whole team. And we have some jerkins and we have some chickens on our team. So it makes sense that there'd be both jerks and chickens at the graduation party.
Now, who are you referring to as a chicken?
I didn't say there was any chickens. What are you talking about?
I know how you enjoy saying somebody in our team has chicken legs.
No, he has bird legs.
Oh yeah, no, you
They're
have.
not specifically chicken.
You have said specifically.
He said Dalton was not invited since little kids, and he knows better. So there won't be any chicken legs there, or bird legs in general. But think of how many less heads we're gonna have because of that. Because of his 5 head. Well, we're almost 20 minutes in, and apparently Eric is still the only one here. So let's go ahead and acknowledge, yes, indeed, Eric, we have New Jerseys. Sure.
Or do you want to stand up?
I'm not standing up. You can stand up. I'm too lazy for that nonsense. Besides, you're smaller than I am, so you're gonna need. They can't see me.
Well, they're not seeing anything of me because of this chair. Take the camera. I'm gonna stand over here, and you can. I'll do a little cute spin.
Why don't you just come back here and do your cute little spin?
You can see my cute legs. I do have pants on, people. Just so cute little our thummy holes. We have our name on the side of our arm, and then we have our symbol, our logo, and then our number on our shoulder. And then we have changed our symbol up just a tad bit. We changed the colors so that if you would like to play speedball, no colors are against regulations for the NXL. And then mine specifically says General A Dog. And has my number on the back. And yours just says Daniel Andraco, but you have a fancy C because you
actually says Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan Andraco. I think I'm really the only person who calls you Daniel. Has a fancy C because you wear the Capiton.
And they look very nice. We have everybody that's on the team has a jersey now, except for 2 people. Colin does not have his yet. It is.
Did you order?
I have not yet ordered it. It has been paid for, but it has not yet been ordered. And then Clark has not purchased one because I don't think he's allowed to play this year. So, but Clark, you can order it again. There's no extra fee for ordering later. So no problem in doing that later if you decide you want to.
They are not padded.
Yeah, it's not there's not really padding per se in them so much
They're-
as
they're
it is
thick.
it's a thick material.
It's a thick material, so
That kind like it's thicker than our current our old jerseys, or current jersey, what do you want to call it? It's a thicker material than that, and so it feels more padded than those ones did.
I feel
But it's not
that
actual pad.
the cuffs, the sleeve cuffs are a thicker material, and those feel specifically padded. So
It's just thick,
That-
and it's also double layered, as
So
opposed
they
to
are
the old
not-
ones are single layered. So again, it's not really that there's padding in them, but they do have more of a padding than the old ones did. Which I plan on in the future probably still wearing my old one when I'm on the red team. Because it's a red jersey, so it makes sense. But these ones are much more coordinated. They're all exactly the same except for our names and numbers. They're all the same colors and everything like that. And also they're just a neutral,
they're
Black
black
and
with
gray.
some stripies and
so no one confuses us for red team when we're on the blue team, or blue team when we're on the red team. None of that nonsense. I really enjoy the look of the old jerseys. I think they look great, their designs are great, and I really like the fact that we all have our own colors, honestly, and yet coordinated. But these ones do feel more team,
and
in my opinion.
not to mention the names of the other jersey, because I don't think you can really tell what company does the jerseys that are the different color ones. And we specifically chose them because they were the hockey style, or more so I tried to get them because they were the hockey style, and I genuinely think they look great, and I agree with you. We each have our own individual colors. However, working with Anthrax, who is located in Greece, was 100 times easier than working with the other company.
I could expect
So-
now. Greek time is obviously a little different than ours.
I believe
So,
it's 7 hours.
If I sent them an email, let's say I sent them an email on Monday, I would fully expect, and did every time, get a response by the time I woke up on Tuesday morning. I usually wake up around 6:30, and every morning that I had sent them an email the day before, I got a response. With the other company, it was literally weeks before I'd get a response. So I highly recommend Anthrax over that other company that I won't name.
And as you can tell, there is Anthrax on our jersey. You can see it
But only-
very small,
Only
and it is in the back a little
very
bit.
rarely. It's right here, and then there's one in the back. But the original one he sent me had like
It
3 or
across
4
your
more,
butt.
and there was this really big one in the back, and I was like, can we do without that, because I'm not advertising for you. And they did, which was nice.
Essentially, everything that we wanted, except for maybe 1 or 2 things, were done. So we had discussed
Oh, that's nice.
having our names that are on the back a different font, because they give you 131 pages of font, which I went through all of them. 132
You're a
pages.
bit nutty, aren't you?
I am a bit nutty. And we broke it down into different groups, and then he ultimately chose, after I broke it down to 2, but we had 2 specifically ones that we wanted for Dunedain and one for our names. That was unable to happen. One of our team members wanted a longer string of numbers. That wasn't able to happen. But for the most part, everything that we asked was done was done with efficiency. You would think that there would be a big difficulty talking to somebody in Greece. There wasn't. So I
I got a thing. I'm gonna show everybody.
am quite
Eric,
happy.
Eric just sent this to me. See if we can show up.
Oh, did he put the symbol on the?
He did. It's
shield?
not. Can't see it very well, but
Can we email it and put it up? Can you email it to
But
yourself?
he put the tree on one of the shields, and it looks pretty cool.
The shed.
I'm not
Oh
sure.
no,
I
he
think
didn't
it's just
mention.
a
No, it's
sticker.
just a sticker. No, it looks great though. Good job. Good
I got a notification that we're live,
job. Ah, so good to know.
isn't it? So
I'm so glad that we are aware of these things.
they put it on both of them,
Oh,
which
nice.
doesn't surprise me, but good.
Also very helpful too. Because those apparently, one of them at least got lost.
Yeah.
Heck, the big shield got lost. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. We
Um,
complained enough about that last week. I don't think we need to
no,
complain about
I'm not.
it again.
No, I'm not complaining. My point is that obviously things get lost specifically when you play in the woods, and to have the symbol on it definitely helps. Also, it looks pretty.
It does look
I
pretty.
wasn't
I don't
gonna
know
complain
that.
about it
I
getting
don't know that
lost,
it helps though, because at least with the last game, those were the only shields that looked like that.
Okay.
So it's not like someone's going to confuse it for somebody else's shield. It's not like a
Okay.
pod where everyone has the same pod. You could easily confuse it.
Yeah, but at least you know. Okay, whatever.
Well, anyway,
It's
so
nice, Eric.
they looked very nice. I got some interesting information about Hamburger Hill just half hour ago maybe, or 45 minutes ago. So Carl is writing Hamburger Hill, but he's not actually in control of anything as far as certainly not the website, certainly not the field. He doesn't own anything. He's just writing the game. But if you remember from a month and a half, 2 months ago, I mentioned two things. One was that, actually three things. One was that the poster still said that it was a Buffalo paintball event. The poster still had a picture of Nate as the general instead of Adog. And third was that apparently the Viet Cong team couldn't even register. Well,
Or you couldn't register to be a part of the Viet Cong.
right. As of right now, none of those things have been fixed. We sent in a picture of Adog for the poster, but apparently the other general hasn't yet. And the website, you can still only sign up to be on the U.S. team, which is okay with me because that's our team. So let's get everybody on our team. But I said to Carl, I was like, I know this isn't your fault, but what's up with that? You know, how many times do we have to complain about it before it gets fixed? Is this a game even gonna happen? Regardless of virus, I'm just talking about from their end, is it even gonna happen? They don't seem to, they're not putting very much effort into making this, it's only 1 month away at this point, or just over a month and like 2 weeks or something. And they don't even have who the generals are up. They don't have who you can register.
Well, you can register to be an American.
You can register to be on the U.S. team, and that's it.
They do.
So-
What's very interesting though, is when you do the drop-down box to choose what team you are.
They have an empty spot for it.
There are 3 radio buttons, so you can click that radio button, right? Did you try to click it?
I did not try to click it.
Okay, so let's say you can click it. So are you just choosing a blank space, and maybe in the coding process it does say Viet Cong, but it has a glitch or an error? So maybe the coder who created the registration doesn't think that there's a glitch in the system.
But at this point, he's been told about it.
I don't know why it hasn't been fixed.
At this point,
I
he's been
haven't
told about it
even-
over and over again.
At the end of the day, I just keep thinking everything else has been canceled. This is just next.
Yeah, but like I said, despite the virus, they don't seem to be putting forth the effort. I'm not sure that they're gonna have it just because they don't seem to care at this point.
What's interesting is he asked us what in May, end of May,
Yeah.
and then we went there week before Mayan.
I think so.
No, not week before Mayan. Week before battle. I don't know.
Yes. Sunday morning, week
it
before
was-
Battle of the Pacific. Yes,
So that was Battle of the Pacific was
the 20th.
the 20th. So let's say the 13th. It's been a month. You
Yeah. And none of those things have been fixed. So, and they keep, again, it's not Carl's fault, but he's very much for us to recruit people, get people to go there. We mention it to people in person. We mention people on here. Luckily, we're recruiting for the U.S. team, which is the one you can register for.
I mean, if I was Lee, I'd be kind of I'm surprised he hasn't said anything.
I'd be like, what is?
Because I think he just said something from reading that conversation. I think he mentioned something today because I think people were starting to register and they couldn't
actually do it. So that's interesting. I'd be real pissed if I was the general of the team that couldn't register.
I would absolutely be pissed. I mean, he doesn't really have to worry about the poster. He's on the poster. He has no reason to be mad about that or annoyed. He's on the poster. He's been the general since the very beginning. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not upset that that happened. But I would be causing a ruckus if I'm trying to register my team. Because he's from Foxton, isn't he? Or Blues
Cruise.
I mean, if that team had 50 people, and
They do have a lot.
you can't register for that, then
Now, the one thing that I can blame Carl for is the Facebook event page. That was set up and is run by Carl, and it has no information at all, basically. It has one sentence, a Vietnam game or something like that. That's it. So that I can blame Carl for, and he should. And I've been telling him for a long time about that one too. Get it updated, get some information on there. And I was giving them leeway up until about now because it was still a while away. But now we're about a month away. They need to get up on it and give some information here. Even if it's just a little bit. Like, you don't have to give all the information now. Just put
general link to being able to register, how much
Maybe
things are going to cost, what
Yeah.
is allowed, considering that when we went there, tanks are allowed, launchers are allowed, mines are allowed, like all of that stuff should be on the Facebook group. Because if that's your style of paintball and you're looking for a scenario that allows all of that interaction, from smoke grenades all the way to tanks, and they canceled Ion where you got 3 tanks. Like, oh, I can bring a tank onto a field? I got a tank in my backyard. Like, that's gonna bring people. I don't know why you wouldn't want to celebrate that information.
Indeed. So we'll see what happens with that. So like I said, I'd be surprised from their end just how little effort they're putting into it. I'd be surprised if they're having it. But then there's the virus issue, which, as I just read, Allegheny County is now limiting outdoor activities to 50 people. Who knows how long that lasts? I don't know if it's going to happen, just because if it's limited to 50 people, they're not going to have it. So.
Specifically, I mean, that's 25 on. That's less than 25 on each team, because you got to include everybody else that's off the field.
Mm-hmm. But he did give us a rough map.
So we know where bases are.
We know
where slapsticks
we
are.
know where the 2 bases are, and we know where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 slapsticks. There will also be side missions and props and things like that. But at any given time, there are 7 slapsticks in play, and we know where all those will be. So we can actually start strategizing at this point, which is nice.
Which one of the slapsticks, and not to divulge any information or show anything, but one of the slapsticks was part of the plan we had.
Yes. So
I'm going to be very vague for
what
you
we
people.
had, what you and I had originally discussed as far as what I thought,
Yeah.
is still the same. Yeah. Which is good. I mean, we didn't do too many specifics on the plan.
We haven't done a lot of
But the little bit of planning that we did as far as strategy still holds even though there's actually more slapsticks now than there were originally, it still
Yeah.
works out the same.
No, it's
So that's good.
oh good.
Right
Is
now,
that still gonna be in September, or is that earlier? I mean,
Eric mentioned that his charity event is still on as of right now, which is good. Um, again, with the virus, who knows if it actually does happen, but as of right now, it's still on, so that's good.
well,
And
that
as of
can
right
be a
now,
very small.
Yeah, I mean, that was-
that can,
it
50
was
people
small last
isn't
time.
gonna hinder that event.
and as of right now, NAM, Tour of Duty, which is a Mission Masters event, is still on as well. Nothing has changed as far as that goes. But again, if it's limited to 50 people outdoors, I don't know if they're actually going to have it. Are we still generaling? I think so, but I don't know for sure. A couple of things have happened there. One is we put into general the U.S., but he has us down for North Korea, which is fine. I mean, not North Korea,
North Vietnam.
North Vietnam, which is fine.
And I
We'll do
believe-
either one.
I believe Paul is going to be.
Yeah, and it seems like Paul might be the U.S. general on the other team.
And we had discussed, like, we wanted to be the U.S. for both Vietnam missions, but in reality, generaling either side has no bearing on either event.
Yeah, so it
Like,
doesn't
oh,
matter.
I general the North for Mission Masters. That's not going to help me win Hamburger Hill.
No, but we were trying to be consistent, I guess.
Yeah.
But in any
Doesn't
case,
matter, though.
whatever, that doesn't
Whatever.
matter. But I did tell Dean, because we ended up generaling the last game, I told him that if there's anyone else that can general or wants to general, let them. Because the only reason we ended up generaling last time is because no one else could or wanted to or whatever.
But I think that's what happened with LOA as well.
Yes, exactly.
And
It
I
is.
think this year, regardless of how Dean structures his generaling, I think people are just so taken aback by what's happening that regardless, I don't think they want a general. They don't want to say they're going to be at an event and then
not
not
be able to
show
go.
up.
Right. But yeah, so I told him that if there was anyone else that wanted to, or could or wanted to, let them do it because we did the last one and let's have some new people be generals. But obviously, if there's no one else, then we will, provided nothing crazy happens. I mean, if these numbers keep going the way they're going, we might not even go. But hopefully, let's
Yeah.
really hope that things turn around and we start going in the right direction, and we can go back out. I mean, generally speaking, everything outdoors, including certainly paintball, is safer. That's not to say it's safe. And unfortunately, at every event we've been to, no one has worn masks, and neither have we. And you think, well, how can you complain about other people not wearing masks when neither did we? Well, because the mask is to protect everyone else from, like, my mask is to protect everyone else from me. A-Dog's mask is to protect everybody else from her, so on and so forth. So, if no one else is wearing a mask, what's the point of me wearing a mask? It doesn't protect me. It doesn't protect me at all. It protects them from me. And twofold to that. One is, so as far as I know, I'm healthy, but that's, more importantly, is the reason you want to wear a mask is because I want them to wear a mask because I don't know that they're healthy. They know they're healthy, but I don't know they're healthy, so I want them to wear a mask. I know I'm healthy, but they don't know I'm healthy, so they would want me to wear a mask. But if they don't care, why should I care? Which
It's not the best attitude.
it's not it's not a good attitude at all. That's my point. Is
Yeah,
it's not a good
not
attitude.
A good attitude. We should all have been wearing masks at every Mission Masters event. When we went to the 2-man, we should have just worn them. But it's very. And this is gonna sound really stupid because you should be able to be that one person. But again, me wearing a mask isn't protecting me from anybody else. It's protecting the other person.
Well, it does ever so slightly, but barely.
Not enough.
It's like a 7% protection.
But to go on Minion's responses, Bawling for Bleeders, which Hemophilia Foundation, the Pittsburgh chapter, that's what it would support, is September 20th, and I believe it is at TRP. And then Minion will general, if absolutely necessary.
Well, yeah, so there you go.
Unfortunately, you and Colin have had to ref recently and have not been able to play.
Yeah, the last game they both ref.
Which
The
is
game before that,
unfortunate.
Colin did.
Because you didn't even get to use your shields that you made.
Yeah, you made some nice shields, and then you just didn't get to use them at all.
So, if everything, looks okay and we get to go out there, I hope you get to play and use your shields. Because no one else wanted to use the shield.
Well, if I don't use a pump in the next game, then I could run with a shield if no one else wants to. I'll use the shield. It's just, I can't with the pump. It just did not work. It just did not work. But I've been running the pump all this year so far because I've been trying to not spend so much money on both paint and air. As I went on that spiel last time about the air, I'm just going to mention real quick, it's $10 for infinite refills at any Three Rivers event, which I think is ridiculous and stupid, and they should eliminate that. But enough of that. I've been just trying to save money in general for reasons that we don't need to go into, but basically personal reasons on our end, trying to save money. And so yeah, I've been running pump to spend less money.
And again, I'm going to mention special thanks to Carbon Paintball for sponsoring the Bleeding for Ballers, and hopefully everything that I said about your event, Minion, is true and I didn't botch anything up. Please correct me if I did.
I really hope. So September 20th is the date that he's given.
Are we even going to be? Are we supposed to be here?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
I don't think we're even going to. Hopefully we're not here.
We will be here.
We will be here.
But we're returning the day before.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much energy we'll have. Hopefully we'll be on vacation the week before that in Disney World. Again, with the virus, who knows what's going to happen. But as of right now, we're set to be in Disney World up until the 19th. So we will be back, and we will be there.
I love you, Minion, but when I said that, I really want to go to Disney. But I will not compromise myself and everybody that I love so that I can be at Disney for a week, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Disney. But either way,
so Minion, we may be tired.
but we'll show our faces at least.
We'll put our pretty faces there.
But yeah, last year, I hope it goes better than last year. Not that last year was a disappointment. It went fairly well. There was a decent showing of people, and I think we raised a good amount of money for it. But the one thing that did disappoint me was that it was supposed to be kind of like a capture the flag event, or a domination event where there's supposed to be multiple flags that were counted throughout the day, like every hour or something, on every field. But there weren't enough people. Three Rivers didn't put the effort in and only had one ref there. That's probably the bigger reason, honestly. And so it was just an open play day, which I have no problem with open play. I like playing just open play, but that's not what it was supposed to be. So I'm hoping that it actually is what it's supposed to be.
Because we were really excited for that.
Yeah. I thought it would be a nice, fun, mini scenario kind of thing where like it's a really good introduction for new players. It's also a fairly easy, like it's not Mission Masters, or you're not like up in it. it's something that everyone can get behind. You just go pull the flag, and it gets counted every once in a while. But also, a bigger event that could be a lot of fun. So I was looking forward to it, and I was kind of disappointed that that didn't happen.
So if you go to anything, through all of this crazy, sponsor bleeders, blood is good, having it escape you is bad. That's a slogan, right, Minion? No, Minion's a tough ass.
He's a tough ass?
Yeah.
What have you been doing biting his ass?
I do what I want now that he's 18.
Oh my.
Just kidding. I'm absolutely kidding.
I don't think she is.
I am.
Man, you better wear some steel pants, child. She's coming for you. She's got sharp teeth.
I don't. Speak for yourself, biter. No, I think paintball can be.
She's gonna take a bite out of you.
I'd do what I want. Never mind.
Spit it out, girl.
Never
What are you
mind.
trying to
I
say
lost
here?
all of my thought process now, so just forget it.
The whole train got derailed there.
Everything got derailed.
I think what she was trying to say is if you're gonna go to one thing, support people not bleeding.
Exactly.
And that way, so go to the event September 20th at Three Rivers Paintball, which last year all of the entrance fees were donated. I believe that, and then you could buy shirts and things, and you could just donate money as well. But I believe all the paint sales and everything like that went to Three Rivers still. So it's very hard to stop A-Dog when she puts her mind to something. Or when she puts her teeth to something.
I am not the biter in this.
You're the one who said that you were going to go bite his butt.
I did not say I was going to bite his butt. I said that I would do what I want to do. It had nothing to do with biting his butt. You said that.
When did I say that? Why you gonna blame me? Why you gonna put words in my
Because you're
mouth
the one
when,
that likes to
when
bite
you're
people.
putting butt cheeks in your mouth? I'm not putting. You're putting words in my mouth and butt
Okay.
cheeks in your mouth. Goodness gracious, girl. Did we even find our L?
No,
Did we even find our L?
I didn't look for our L.
And now, so in answer to your earlier question, I completely forgot about until just now, Minion. You can get your jersey pretty much anytime. If you want to come get it, feel free to come get it.
If you want to come, like, shit
We'll
on
be here.
fire. We'll be here.
All weekend, so feel free to come get it. But if not, we will bring it to the next event. Which
I think, we'll bring it to your graduation party.
we can bring it to your graduation party. There you go. We'll probably end up bringing all of them, just so if anyone that happens to be there, we can give it to them. But we're hoping to wear them at the 2 events coming up this year, just as a team. That way we can all coordinate. And then next year, like I said, I plan on wearing probably my old one whenever we're on the red team.
But with the 2-man tournaments or any.
Or yeah, like the. But generally in the future, I won't care which jersey you wear any given day, unless. Like if there's a day where we're all going to be there, it'd be better to wear these ones because there's certain players that have these ones that don't have. There's 4 specific team members that have these ones but don't have the old ones.
I think if we are generaling an event and more than 5 of our team is there, they should be worn.
But that's all determined later in the future.
Yeah.
In future
Bring
times.
both.
At future times, we
Switch it up.
We might decide that we want everyone to wear these ones, but normally, at most events, I'm not going to care which one you wear because I'll switch it up. If we're on the red team, I'll probably wear the old one. If we're on any other team, I'll probably wear this one.
The only ones that have problems based on color are Luke, me, you, and Clark. Because Luke and I are both blue, and you and Clark are both red.
Right.
Those are the only true issues.
So only 4 out of the 5.
And I've been shot
No,
once.
4 out of the 6. Sorry, because Colin's purple and Eric is gold. So
And
only 4 out of the 6 have a problem.
I got hit by. I don't know who. I honestly couldn't tell. Like, I hit through a window, so it could have been my team. It could have been the other team. I don't know how I got hit so many times from where I was, though, from the other team. But weren't we blue? We were blue. I don't know why I would be getting hit.
No, we were red.
We weren't.
At Battle of Pacific?
Yeah,
we were red.
Yeah. That's probably why.
Because
I have no idea why these people would hit me, though.
Because for the same reason that they shoot everybody else in the back. They don't actually know who they're shooting at. And then they get mad at me for yelling at them for shooting me in the back. And I'm like, well, stop shooting me back. You got red on. Yeah, but I'm shooting away from you.
This was the mission where you ran to go get the dummy in the van and realized that it was not the right van.
Right.
And so I'm in the house with Nate because we were trying to figure out what we needed to do. We were waiting for you. And so door, window, I was getting shot through that window repeatedly.
That could have been either team.
So I don't really know. That's why I didn't yell at anybody. But I don't know how they would have gotten.
They were crossing the creek, so it could have been either team.
It could have been either. I did not appreciate it though. Regardless.
Yeah, we got pretty well pounded on that game.
Yeah.
We got pretty well pounded, for sure. For
pounded. There
sure.
should be a different word because pounded doesn't describe how badly we got our asses handed to us.
Yeah, we got beat pretty badly, which was unfortunate. Quite saddening. Quite unfortunate.
And what's really unfortunate is it was Dante's first game that he kind of took the reins on. And I thought he did a pretty good job. I don't think he did anything problematic that would put blame on him. I thought he did pretty good for the first Mission Masters game he had ever played. And the first time he's been at Three Rivers. I think he did pretty well. Unfortunately, we just got our asses handed to us. Repeatedly.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if this was because he just relied on me and Paul, or if he felt because we knew the field and he didn't, or if he just wasn't sure of himself, or if he doesn't do it in general. But the strategy on what to do was all me and Paul. Even when Paul had stepped aside and let him take over, it was still me and Paul that thought of the strategy. And like I said, I don't know if he was letting us because we know the field, or if he just doesn't strategize. I don't know. But that's one thing I would definitely say that he needs to work on is planning and strategizing.
But that was the whole point of kind of shadowing Paul, was to learn that stuff. So I don't know. I don't think he did badly.
I didn't say that.
Did. No, I'm just.
He didn't do anywhere near as well as Brandon did. Brandon did very, very well for his first time.
I agree with you.
I
just don't.
But he has a lot more experience with that field.
He does. And he also, from my understanding of it, used the actual battles to come up with strategy.
I think so, yeah.
And not that necessarily needs to happen, but I think when you have a semblance of what actually happened, because Dean respects the war and the skirmishes, if you do a little bit of research, you can kind of figure out some aspect of what's going to happen on the mission. I don't think it's like the big, strong, like, oh, I know what's going on, we're going to win this mission. I don't think that, but I know when we did Mayon, I researched every battle, and there were some key aspects of those battles that helped us win. Because I researched. That's how I feel. Now, I could be wrong. That's just my personal stance on generaling, but some people may think I'm an awful general. I don't know. I think I do okay.
Tell that to the fact that you win all the time.
But it's competitive, and probably a lot of people hate me, which is absolutely fine. As I get into other decades, I realize that you can hate me, and that's fine. I don't want you to hate me, but like, I don't think winning is always the key to being a good general. Or, so there could be people who just because we win don't necessarily think that I general that game well.
Indeed. After all, we are assholes.
We are assholes.
We are assholes. We've been told that specifically
We're
because of the way
assholes.
we general. Because we are winning too badly. Apparently we're having streaming issues. I apologize for our streaming issues. I'm not sure what's happening there.
We're breaking the internet.
We are, or the internet's breaking us. I'm not sure
Very
which
well
one.
done.
But I guess that's pretty much all we had to discuss today. There's not much happening, as we talked about last week. We're done until August 15th is the next one. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about? All two people that are on here?
We had 3 at one point.
Jake told me he was going to be on here. I don't see him. I've yet to heard from the State Farm boy.
But that doesn't mean he's not on. He just may not want to speak to anybody tonight. Or he's listening to it as a podcast.
Well, if you're listening, Jake, send me a message telling me that you're listening.
Because I know that's how Clark used to listen, and that's how Xavier mostly listens. They listen to his podcast and they don't. Because everybody wants to hear my charming voice.
Is that what it is?
Of course it is. I apologize for the nanny voice.
For the what?
The nanny voice.
The nanny voice.
Yes. Fran Tressler. The nanny.
Okay.
Shows my age right there. But that's okay.
You are pretty old.
I'm sure nobody that watches paintball channels on YouTube is watching the nanny.
Probably not. No,
But it's okay.
probably not. Alrighty, everybody. Well, have a good night. We might see you next week. We might not. We really don't have much to talk about, as you said, because not until August. So, if there's something big going on, some sort of word about anything paintball related, we'll be on. If not, then we probably will skip next week, and then probably come back the week after. No, maybe we might skip 2 weeks. I'm not sure. Because there's nothing happening right
There's
now.
nothing happening.
So unless there's some big news, probably won't see us for a few weeks until we get closer to NAM, and then we'll get on and talk about what we expect from NAM. So everybody have a good night, and bye-bye.